What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Morgan Good, CEO and Director of Carlyle Commodities. It's a pleasure to have you back on today, Morgan. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me, Aaron. How are you today?
I'm great. Excited to be talking about your most recent news. But first, let's get an update on the company. What have you guys been up to?
Yeah, of course. Well, as we would all know, if we're following Carlyle or not, the company is focused on advancing its nearly 1 million ounce gold and 5 million ounce of silver Newton project in South Central British Columbia. We just finished Carlyle's first phase of drilling, which was a little over 2,000 meters and 3 drill holes, 2 of which were very lengthy, deep holes. And of course, on today's topic, we did just post our results from our 3rd hole of that phase 1 drilling. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get into that news. I mean, they announced 613.9 meters of 0.55 grams per ton at the Newton project, including 18 meters of 1.67 grams per ton and 33 meters of 1.45 grams per ton. What do these results mean for the company? Can you go a little bit more in depth?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had results of 689 meters of just over 0.5 grams per ton gold on our first hole, which was an exceptionally long intercept. I like to say it's 7 football fields in length. And not a lot of companies are doing that in Canada, let alone the province of British Columbia these days. So to come out with that sort of intercept and a decent grade over that length is really exceptional. And the fact that we've now been able to repeat it with even slightly better grade confirms that the first hole wasn't an accident. We now know that the depth of the known inferred resource is considerably deeper than previously known and understood. But on top of that, and possibly more notable, is the fact that we've got this 18 meters of nearly 1.7 grams per ton gold equivalent close to surface. So that higher grade pocket towards surface is a really interesting clue, which leads us to believe there could be some higher grade sections at surface. And I think that's critical in some of these lower grade, large tonnage deposits like Newton. And of course, like our sort of like the analog we always talk about in the Blackwater up to the north, is having these higher grade sections closer to surface, which could represent, a potential starter pit with better grades on a mining, on a mining production situation.
So what are the next steps for the project after this news?
Right. Well, obviously, we're excited that this hole number 3 matched up with hole number 1, and that told us a lot. So to my comments a moment ago about this higher grade section at surface, there were a lot of other historical sections of decent to high grade close to surface as well from all the historical drilling. So that clue from this recent hole, along with all the historical clues, tells us that we have to follow our nose here on what could be a higher grade section at surface. So phase 2 strategy and drilling is being put in place right now by our team and our VP of X, Jeremy Hansen, and I, to get back out there, probably in about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, for a little more robust and aggressive phase 2, where we're going to focus more on sort of the near surface drilling, probably have a lot more holes, but not nearly the same depth. But I still think the meterage will be up north of the 4,000 to 5,000 meter range in total. And we should expect that sometime later this spring.
Should be an exciting year for you guys. So why is now such an interesting time to take a look at the company compared to before?
Yeah, well, the project hadn't been drilled in about 9 or 10 years, obviously, because the gold market was out of favor. So number one, you've got a macro environment, obviously with gold trading at all-time highs in the last week or two, and the de-dollarization of the US dollar from a global currency. It's clear that the bullish winds are here for precious metals, gold in particular. So that's one reason. And number two, Carlyle has now shown that it's done some of its own due diligence on the project by drilling successful holes with good grade, but also that it's drilled them at depth. So I think we've opened up a tremendous opportunity for high priority targets, which weren't there before, as well as, again, finding these higher grade clues closer to surface leads a whole bunch of opportunities as we head into what could be the start of a long, bull cycle for the yellow metal.
Yes, it's exciting times. Now let's talk about gold specifically. We were all talking about 2000. We finally crossed that path. Hopefully it stays. What are your thoughts and outlook on the market? I know that, the juniors tend to lag, as we're seeing still, but lots of opportunity ahead. What's your thoughts on gold when it comes to the price?
Sure. Yeah. Well, no, as I just touched on it a moment ago, I think that, gold typically trades inversely to the US dollar, and it's always been known as a safe haven. So when you see the US dollar suffering or struggling, gold tends to do well. And that has been no different in the recent case of the price action we've seen the last couple of weeks and months. If it breaks these all-time highs, which it looks like it's going to do, I think we can see it gap up tremendously. I think we're going to see north of $2,100. That's conservatively speaking over the coming months. And it's already very economical for projects like Carlyle, especially in Canadian dollars, being in Canada, with our cost for exploration and production here. So I see a tremendous upside on the price of gold over particularly the 2023. This is where you're going to see the biggest leg up. Therefore, an opportunity to buy undervalued, low valuation companies like Carlyle that have ounces in the ground and are putting out positive and really good results. The upside is tremendous. You could see 5, 10, 20x on lots of small cap companies, because as you say, they're at the end of the trough and they haven't been getting any love yet. Whereas you see like sort of the big cap and the mid-tier producers, they're the only ones that have been reflective in a positive price with the action we've been seeing in gold.
Yep, it's going to be an exciting year for gold. So finally, where's the best place for investors, prospective shareholders, or anyone interested in the company to find out more information?
Well, of course, our website, www.carlylecommodities.com, and all our respective social channels.
Great, Morgan. Well, thanks a lot. Great results, and best of luck with the rest of this year. I'm sure we'll have you back on for more updates.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Talk soon.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.